Into League One then, huge win for the Chairboys at home against Bolton, Sam Avery.
Yeah, back to winning ways. Wycombe with a 2-1 victory over Bolton, who were 7 league games unbeaten going into this, and they took the lead after 16 minutes, the visitors. Gale with a close-range volley, but 2 goals at the end of the first half within 3 minutes of each other turned things round. Jack Grimmer with the first, his 3rd goal of the season, firing in from close range, and then Junior Katerna cutting inside from the right and finishing low into the bottom corner. Second half, Bolton came on a bit stronger, but to be fair to Wycombe, they'd largely kept them at arm's length and had the better chances on the counter-attack. But it's a massive win going into Christmas. Wycombe 2, Bolton 1, it finished.
Let's go and speak to Sam Avery then after that victory today. Interesting, isn't it? Luton up next, and where are Wycombe? 1 point and 1 place behind them. That was a big win this afternoon for a lot of reasons, I think, Sam.
Yeah, it was. It stops the rot. It was 5 games without a win in all competitions going into this one, and this of the sort of 6 games, this is probably the hardest of all of them. At home to Bolton, and to come through this and pick up 3 points against a really good side shows real character and shows just how good this Wycombe side can be. And I think fans have sort of lost an idea of how good Wycombe can be in the last few weeks, because it had got a little bit stale and some of the performances weren't fantastic in recent weeks. And there was sort of talk about needing another, massive overhaul in the January transfer window. But I don't think that's necessary. I think that even the players that featured today and starred today haven't played so much recently. I mean, Henderson came back in and was brilliant. He showed his worth. I mean, again, Wycombe dropped off when he was injured. He's come back into the side today and they're back to winning ways. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. He was excellent. But players like Junior Katerna, that was his first league start since August. He played really, he obviously scored the 2nd goal, which was well taken, but his overall performance was really good as well. Even Vestergaard, he's had his critics this season. Obviously signed for big money a year ago. Hasn't really settled in yet, but came off the bench today and was really good in midfield. Added a bit of steel in there and some quality on the ball as well. So, some of those players are stepping up, and that's a really good sign. So, really good win for so many reasons. The fact they came from behind and showed character. The 2nd goal was of real quality, and they never really looked threatened in the second half either. Norris made 1 good save from Xavier Simons, but other than that, they really kept Bolton at arm's length, and a good Bolton side too. So, that's going to give them a lot of confidence going into the Christmas period, because I was fearing a little bit after last weekend that they're in bad form going into a busy run of fixtures, but that would have lifted everyone this afternoon. That was a really dogged, determined, proper Wycombe performance, and with a bit of quality in there as well.
It's interesting as well, isn't it? Because Michael Duff was kind of saying, look, however you read it, we're not that far off it. Levels have dropped, and when levels drop, you won't win football matches. And he was kind of saying just the bits and pieces that we aren't doing quite, we're not fully committed sometimes, and we can just lose focus. But that hasn't happened today. So I think more than anything, that will please him.
Yeah, and they had to be up for it today because of the quality of opposition, and they were. And there have been a few games against some of the sides who are near the bottom of the table where they haven't quite looked at it. And Duff said about after the extra game when they lost 4-0, perhaps hinted that they thought they'd just turn up and win the game. And he said the quote, if you think you're all right in football, then someone's going to go past you. And when you're all right, that's a bad thing. I think he was hinting at the fact that in some of the last few games, Wycombe have come up against sides near the bottom of the table and almost felt like, we're in good form. We're going to walk this, we're going to win it. But you can't do that in football, as we all know. You have to work hard. And in the games against some of the sides near the top, they have worked hard and they have played well. They beat Huddersfield here in October 3-0, beat Bolton. You obviously, of course, here when they drew with Fulham and took them to penalties and worked really hard. So against some of the teams near the top of the table and some of the really good sides they've come up against, they have worked hard and been dogged and determined. It's a really good win today.